Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to All Burgundy Gold Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. I'm Glen. I'm joined by my co-hosts, George and Wole will be joining us a little bit later. George, what's up, brother?
Oh, college basketball's in full swing, and I'm enjoying games every night and A10 games every night, and this is a good time of year, and it's kind of nice to. Unfortunately, it's kind of nice to have a break from the Commanders and their shenanigans on the field, but we can still talk about them, and we got plenty to talk about tonight.
Oh, we definitely got plenty to talk about tonight, man. But before we get to that, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. That's with 3 R's. Hit us up at IG and TikTok at ABG_everything. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold YouTube channel. If you're in our YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help support the show. The super chat will be prioritized over all other comments. We are also streaming live on Urban Sports Scene X account, and we got our Facebook account back too. So if you're watching on YouTube, go over to Facebook, join on the Facebook page as we drop stuff in there periodically. Go ahead and like it and share it as well. It's time for the pregame. This is what we have on tap. All right, we'll provide a mid-season. I know it's past mid-season, but we'll provide a mid-season performance assessment of Adam Peters' off-season moves. We also talk about the Commanders releasing Matt Gay and signing Jake Moody. All right, George, let's start with there right there before we get to the Adam Peters part. We saw Sunday that Matt Gay missed 2 more field goals. Which could have cost the Washington Commanders to win the game. Is this too little, too late? Should they have moved Matt Gay sooner? And your thoughts on the move?
Well, I mean, I've been dissatisfied and unsatisfied with Matt Gay since training camp. So this move is 7 or 8 weeks too late. And as TC Slim points out, that's the funniest part is the 49ers, who are kind of going through their own kicker carousel right now, they just picked him up. What would be funny, or not very funny, but what would be kind of funny in one sense is if Matt Gay is yet another former Commanders or Redskins kicker that goes away and does better. But the fact that we waited until this team was 3-8, until his team was out of it, when you can look at Matt Gay, and you can probably say he cost this team 2 games with his terrible kicking. And not just that, affected this team in so many other ways because they could not be as aggressive, or in some cases they had to be more aggressive than they maybe should have been because they knew that they had to get to the 30 to have a chance and had to be closer than that. Yeah, this was far too late. I'm glad it's happened. I'm not too certain about this kicker that we've signed. We can talk about that, I'm sure, in a minute. But Matt Gay was just an eyesore from the get-go. And to put him in the situations we put him in, knowing that he was not a very effective kicker beyond 50, is just another thing to be mad at the coaches about this year.
Yeah, it's the new kicker we got is Jake Moody, but you just mentioned about Matt Gay.
Jake Moody, isn't it?
Huh?
Is it Jake Moody?
Oh yeah, Jake Moody. Jake Moody. You talk about Matt Gay. Didn't stay unemployed long. Let's put it this way. He didn't stay unemployed long. He's with the San Francisco 49ers, who picked him up real quickly. That means the 49ers definitely in need of a kicker. You mentioned it, George, and you said it. Washington should have got this guy, got Matt Gay. We talked about it with Candy and other reporters, the inconsistency he had in training camp. The inconsistency that took place in training camp, the inconsistency that took place the first game against the New York Football Giants, right? We saw the inconsistency, but he was giving them a lot of money, and they didn't want to release him. It took them having to lose, right? Having to lose a key game, quote unquote key game, in order for them to make a decision. Which we'll get to that, because this is the guy Adam Peters brought in. This is the guy that they was gonna. I always said what was wrong with Austin Seibert, what was wrong with Zane Gonzalez, right? What was wrong with those guys that you let go? One of those kickers could have been kept. But Washington, you said it cost us 2 games. So it cost us 2 games, but he's gone. But now they bring in Jack Moody, 25 years old. Jack Moody has signed with the Washington Commanders. He will be taking over kicker duties when when the Washington Commanders return. All right. He was on the Chicago Bears team. He was on the San Francisco 49ers team. Now he is a Washington Commander. He's from Michigan, right? So he's a good place kicker. Your thoughts on Jack Moody?
Well, here's the problem. Jake Moody was taken, I think, in round 3 by the 49ers. Out of round 3, 99th overall in the 2023 draft because he was a very impressive kicker at Michigan.
Yes.
Problem was they took him. You take a kicker that high, you're hoping it's set it and forget it for the next several years. In 2024, he was 24 for 34 for as a kicker, and he missed all his kicks 40 and up, not 50 and up, 40 and up, and he was only 4 for 9 as a kicker from out from 50 or above. He had decent numbers with the Bears in 2 games. Kicking for them, he was 8 for 9. By the way, the 49ers started the season with him, and after he missed 2 field goals against Seattle, which could have cost him that game, they gave him the thumb week 1. See ya. Didn't wait. And I would just contrast that with what Washington did when we were having problems with doggone Matt Gay as far back as that. And Paul, by the way, I love the fact that you're talking about not having a competition in camp because that's absolutely right. And we'll get to that, I'm sure.
No, definitely.
But Jake Moody is a guy that's, let's be honest, when you can't take a kicker that high and they missed 10 field goals in one season, and then they're axed after game 1 of season 3, that's a bust. Now, he certainly was a very good kicker at Michigan. So it's not as if this was a guy who kicked indoors his whole career and then he got outside and couldn't kick. San Francisco, at least in the old days, was a tough place to kick. I don't think the new stadium is as bad to kick in as Candlestick was. So, I mean, hopefully Larry Izzo can do something with him. But I'm not wildly excited, as I've said for weeks. One of the reasons I hope we trade back and get more picks is so we can draft a kicker. Because if it had been up to me last year, we would have drafted a kicker near the end of the draft. To me, that's what round 6 and 7 are for. You should be looking for specialists in those rounds. Kick returners, punt returners, kickers, punters. That's what that's for. So we'll see. We'll see if this guy can earn the job longer than this year. But I look at him as a Band-Aid right now.
Yeah, one thing I think about with Jake Moody, right? The thing with him is this: when he was with the Bears, right? They didn't really let him kick too many field goals over 50 yards. None whatsoever. This year, he has not kicked a field goal over 50 plus yards.
That's right. He hadn't even tried one.
Has not even tried one, right? The two, against the Washington Commanders, when they beat the Washington Commanders early in the year, right? Because remember, he was on that Chicago. He was a Chicago kicker that beat the Washington Commanders in the last second, right? He was 3 and 4. He was 3 and 4 for 40 to 49 yard game. He was 1 for 1 for the 30 to 39 yard. Right now, he's kicking at 75%. 100% extra points, 1 for 1. He's hitting all his extra points. Right now, 75%. He's at 35th kicker in the league. We couldn't find anybody else. That's
the other thing.
He couldn't find anybody else. Nobody.
Well, one of the kickers I liked in college a couple years back, Harrison Mevis. I know he got signed, and then I think he got cut again. I would have looked at him. there are kickers that don't get signed coming out of college every year that I swear could do better than this. And I would give a tryout to. I mean, where did didn't the dadgum Cowboys find Brandon Aubrey in the UFL or whatever it was?
Mm-hmm.
Or the XFL or whatever? I don't even know what it was. The other football league. Didn't they find him there? I don't know. Again, it's a 3-8 football team and it's kicker. So you can't be but so pressed about it. It's a Band-Aid, that's fine. But seriously, look at who's kicking well in that XFL next spring when they're playing, or look in the draft for somebody. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, most of your best kickers in the NFL, well, maybe not most of them, some of your best kickers in the NFL have been drafted kickers. You know, Tyler Bass, although he's been hurt this year, doggone Janikowski. There's a few other ones that got drafted and stuck. But let's go that route next year and at least try to freaking fix this. And Timothy Park mentioned Justin Tucker, and Paul is absolutely right.
I've been saying
there ain't no point in dealing with Justin Tucker's whatever's going on with Justin Tucker off the field, especially because, again, we're in a Band-Aid situation. It doesn't really matter if we have a good kicker or not the rest of this year because we're not going to the playoffs. I'm just glad Matt Gay is gone because I've been calling for it for months.
Yeah, I'm glad Matt Gay is definitely gone, man. Matt, because again, he has caused a Washington game. Hey, George, is this? I think we said it, and you said it a few minutes ago. This Jake Moody situation. This is a Band-Aid, right? You don't think this is a stabilizer? Do you think he's a long-term kicker for this team, or he is a short-term fix for a long-term problem?
I mean, look, if he does really well. Like, say he makes 16 of 18 down the stretch, and he makes some ones over 50, and he makes most or if not all of them inside from, like 45 and above, then we can have a different conversation about that. But, if he's just another average kicker, like if he's missing as much as he makes from 45 and above, then there is no reason we can't go hunting for somebody better than this in the offseason. And again, it's unfortunate because it's just another thing on top of all the other things we got to do to get this roster right next year.
And you're playing around with a kicker, right? It's a short-term problem. It's a short-term fix. I don't think there is anything else that they can do. Right now, every time he kicks, you're gonna have to hold your breath, right? We haven't seen him do a kick, 50-yard kick all year long, so we don't expect him. That means if he was on your team on Sunday, he wouldn't have kicked this one either, right? So we'll wait and see how Adam Peters and the team plays out and how he gels with the Washington Commanders. Like I said, the big thing is extra points. He is 100 for 100. I mean, 7%. He's 100% on the extra points. You may need him to kick a 40-yarder, need him to kick a 50-yarder. Only time will tell. We'll see where he goes from there. All right. Let's go to our. We try to wait till Wole got here, but we're gonna go to our mid-season assessment. Right. The mid-season assessment of Adam Peters. I agree with that, Paul. We haven't had a good kicker since Chip Lowmiller. I totally agree with that. But we're gonna talk about Adam Peters' assessment of Adam Peters. Some of the moves he made over the offseason. Here's some of the moves he acquired. Debo Samuels. He acquired Larry Tunzel, Javon Kinlaw, Von Miller, drafted Trey Amos. They also used the 29th pick to the draft to tackle Josh Conley. Let's go, George. How do you grade some of Adam Peters' picks, and do you think his picks have panned out thus far?
Well, I want to ask this question. Even though it was not done in the offseason, should we include Lattimore in this? Because it was as much about this year as it was last year when we traded for him. Do you want to include that? Because that will certainly affect my value. That will certainly affect the way I would evaluate this, is if we include the Lattimore deal.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's include it because he's a big part.
Okay,
I'll take that. Let's include Lattimore.
All right. I'm gonna start with that. Because we all were pretty excited about Lattimore. There was not many people second guessing it at the time. There was only a few. We were excited about it. It was a steep price at the time, but when you looked at some of the other trades they made, it wasn't as pricey as it looked on paper. And we thought, and it was much about this season. This one we're in right now is last season. So don't even talk about what happened last season because he barely played. He got healthy, or he got as healthy as he can get, played this year. And we all know how it's gone, and it's gone terribly. So that's a big demerit right out of the gate, is the Lattimore deal. Then when we get to the offseason proper, the Laramie Tunsil trade came out of nowhere, and while it wasn't cheap, that trade would get an A to right now. Laramie Tunsil is a set it and forget it left tackle. You put him there, and as long as he's healthy, you got one of the best left tackles in this league. Your quarterback's blind side is protected. It's just nothing but safety over there. And I would presume, although it was interesting, I was just conversating on Twitter with somebody who makes a point that they might not be able to re-sign him, and he might be gone in a year or two. We'll see. I would presume that as of right now, Laramie Tunsil is very likely to get a contract extension. And to me, he would be worth it. So on that score, even though it was expensive, we gave up a second and a fourth. A. What did we give up? A third for Deebo Samuel?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you take the grade down because of what's happened lately in the game, lately with him being hurt and the team going in the toilet, I think you still got to give it a good grade. Like, I still think you give it a B minus, because early in the season when we definitely didn't have Terry and when we were playing well, Deebo was producing, and he was producing in a variety of ways.
Right.
And I don't think his lack of production can be blamed on him except for the injury. I think the injury has hampered their ability to use him properly. And so I think that's a positive. I didn't like the Javon Kinlaw move, especially the money, but I think Javon Kinlaw's been decent. I wouldn't go lower than a C. I wouldn't say it's been fantastic, but I think it's been good enough to justify a 3-year deal. Dietrich Wise looked good, but then he got hurt. So if you want to give that an incomplete, you give that an incomplete. I don't got a problem with that. And who else are we talking about that he brought in that you want to discuss?
You got Von Miller, who came in, and then you got Trey Amos, who was drafted.
Okay.
And Josh Connolly as well.
Josh Connolly has struggled at the start, but is improving every week. And our offensive line is in decent shape once everybody gets healthy. There are some things to worry about. I would say center is a big thing to worry about going in this offseason, and is the priority for that part of the team, for the offensive line, that position group. But Connolly's now, is he as good as some of the guys that people wanted at that position? Probably not. Wole's not here, so we got to say it. Wole, and I think you did too, Glen, wanted to see us take Travion Henderson at 29.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have probably been a hit, maybe even a grand slam at this point. Don't know. We'll never know, obviously, but that could have solved that issue at running back that some folks might argue that we have right now. But I think Connerly is trending towards a B, maybe even a solid B. I'd say he's a C plus. Amos has been one of the only shining lights in that defensive backfield that we all thought so highly of coming into the season, and has been an absolute wreck. So, but I mean, it's hard because even he's gotten toasted a few times, although again, not his fault. Right. I would give that a C plus. I think the overall grade is a C. Maybe that's being a little kind to Adam Peters, because again, this team has collapsed, and there are other decisions he's made in terms of who stayed and who went that's certainly not gone well. They're 3-8, so it's hard to give anybody with this team a good grade.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give him a C because most of his moves were defensible. Very few people were second guessing them at the time. So I can't go much lower than that. But I can't sit here and say that it's wrong if you're giving him a D or even an F. Because when you're this bad and you've had these kind of expectations, it's very hard for anybody to get a really good grade.
Definitely understand that, George. I think this season, I think Adam Peters made some good moves. Right. You talked about the Lattimore move, which was the first one that you talked about. I even said it last year. Y'all can watch it. The move wasn't too happy about it for the simple fact that you was bringing somebody in that was hurt. You're not going to buy a car that got 3 good wheels and the fourth one is already getting ready to go flat. And that's what I looked at Lattimore. Right, he was getting he
Fair
didn't
point.
he was
Very
hurt.
fair
He was
point.
spoiled goods. We brought him in knowing that he wasn't going to play this season. We brought him in playing sparely. Last season. So again, that move with Adam Peters, I gave him a C minus on that for the simple fact that he traded a good picks away for a player who has not panned out yet. I'm sorry, I just have enough sample size of Lattimore, right? A good sample size to know that was a bad deal. That was a bad trade, you know. So, and then you talk about Deebo Samuels. Prior to Deebo Samuel's heel being hurt, Deebo was the number 1 receiver. It's just what it is. We can argue it. People can talk about it. Deebo was the number 1 receiver on this football team. He was always there. Jaden loved him. He was open. He was able to take things. He was flashy. He was getting the ball in and out. So with bringing in Deebo Samuels and that whole deal, I think because of the shock and the surprise of it, and that no one know, I'm gonna have to give a B on the Deebo Samuel move. Deebo gets a B for me on that because I think Deebo is good. Larry Tunzel, how many times do we call his name on a Sunday? Not a lot.
Very few.
That means he didn't mess up. He's doing his job and he's sticking it to what he's supposed to stick to. And so he's the bookend. Man, he is the guy that this franchise needs to run behind. If you watched me on the other podcast the other night, I said, look, Washington was stuck on the goal line. You get your big play. You paying this dude some good money. You run behind Larry. Larry. I think Larry, in this case, to me, he's an A+. I think this is the big steal. This is a surprise. This was a surprise from Adam Peters that no one saw coming. So I thought Larry Tunzel was good. This guy right here, Javon Kinlaw, I was out on him. Still a little bit out on him too, because sometimes I believe he takes plays off and on. Right? He takes plays off. He takes plays off, but he has been dominant in the middle. And so Kinlaw, I give Kinlaw trade, I get a solid C. I'm gonna stop right there because my man DC Slim got a super chat. Shout out to DC Slim. Lattimore is being used wrong. That's the coaches. I totally believe that is the coaches. He is being used wrong. But and to your point, DC Slim, that is the coaches. But guess what? I don't think they're bringing him back in. I think he's done in Washington, in my opinion. George, your thoughts on that? Is he done in Washington?
I think he has to be, honestly, just because, I mean, when it goes as badly as it's gone this year, then you need to change the scenery. DC Slim might very well be right that he's not used properly. We've all been pretty tough on Joe Witt, and we're all operating under the assumption that he won't be here next season. So I will absolutely entertain that proposition that's been the problem. But there's no way you can keep him. I think you save pretty good money against the cap. And if I'm Lattimore, I want to get the hell out of here and forget I ever played for this team and start over somewhere else. Because I hate to say it, because you hope in the Josh Harris era that won't be so. But for the last 20 plus years, lots of people have come to Washington, had terrible times, left, and seen their careers reborn and rejuvenated by leaving here. And he might be another one for all we know. I don't know if it'll be the case or not, but That's been the history. So if I'm him, I don't want to come back. Whatever money I'm going to miss out on is whatever. I want to get out of here and get somewhere else where I think A, I'm going to be on a definite contender, and B, maybe I'll get used correctly.
Yeah, but he has to stay. I mean, to me, yeah, being used correctly, but he also has to stay healthy, right? Let's be honest. He hasn't been healthy. He has been healthy. He's out now. But to be used correctly, this guy has racked up. We talk about Benjamin St. Juice, man. Lattimore has racked up a lot of personal foul. Pass interference calls, right? Or 5-yard penalties. So he has locked up a lot. So a team that's getting him is getting him in his baggage. Now, granted, it has not been a lot of baggage as to Washington, but we see what he has done in the past. All right. So then we got this one right here, man. It's Von Miller, right? This is another a signing by Adam Peters. Von Miller. Von Miller was on his way out the door, George. Von Miller was in Buffalo, George. He was on his way. He was on his way out the league. All right, in my opinion, on his way out the league. Washington calls. Von Miller gets re-energized, and we on this podcast, a lot of people said they didn't like to move. All right, they didn't like to move a Von Miller. Von came because he was looking for a ring. Right, he believed that Washington Commanders was a Super Bowl contender. He wanted to be a part. Otherwise, he wanted to mooch on the success of a team that was hot last year. That's what it is. But I think they wasted money on this Von Miller move. Has not produced. Had not panned out. So we really look at it. I think the Washington Commanders, this Von Miller, I would have to give Von Miller coming to the Washington Commanders a D. I got to give him.
Here's my problem with that grade. That was late in training camp or preseason. So he was not with anybody, and maybe he was thinking about retiring. But we clearly signed him as, a pass rush specialist that might put us over the top. And instead, because of injuries, we've had to watch Von Miller play out there, not in obvious passing downs to try to sack the quarterback. He's been out there on first and second down. So you're sitting there going, what? Von Miller's trying to set the edge a couple times. That's not what he was brought in for. So I understand where you're coming from on that grade, but given the contract, it was a no risk, high reward deal. So I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you can give it a D. I wouldn't give it an F. But we're misusing him. We're putting him in a bad situation, and we put him in bad spots that are not what he should have been in. So I don't want to be hard on Von Miller because he's getting a gold jacket. Maybe he's finally too old to even be a pass rush specialist, but because of the situations that we were in, he's had to play way more than I'm sure he even thought he was going to be playing. And it's lifted at times, unfortunately.
Definitely. So we settled on the Von Miller situation. Then we go to the draft. They draft Trey Amos, which I think is a great pick. I'm definitely going to have to give the draft of Trey Amos a B plus, because I think this kid has been light out since he's been there. He's been important since he's been there, and he's been doing things the right way. But before that, George, I'll let you go with Trey Amos. We'll give another super chat to my man DC Slim. Dan is hurting Adam. Adam's great. Dan, yeah, Dan. Hey,
that's fair.
It's fair. We'll get to that in a minute, DC. We'll get a minute to that in a minute. George, your thoughts on the whole Trey Amos. Trey Amos, like I said, I gave that move by Dan a B. I mean, by Adam Peters, I give it a B.
No, and I like it. I don't have a problem with that. Trey Amos has again in a position group that's been nothing short of an epic failure, especially given our expectations. Because what were we saying before this season? I certainly was saying as much as anybody. Oh, this group is so much better than last year. It's not even a question. It was miles better, is what people like myself were saying. And my God, for it to turn out like it has is unbelievable. So yeah, I think a B is a good grade. I think he's proven that he's going to stay in this league a long time. And gosh, if we could just get Mike Sanders still back to what he showed as a rookie, we'd be looking at this defensive backfield and saying, man, the future is bright back there. So yeah, I like that grade for Trey Amos, and that's another one in the Dan. I mean, there's been a lot of criticism, maybe probably rightfully so, for Adam Peters' drafting so far. I would say that's a nice little hit. That's a single, maybe even a double for AP with Trey Amos.
So hey, we'll go to the chats a little bit real quick. Paul says Trey Amos is an A. He believes that Trey Amos is an A there. We'll go here. DC some said Adam gets a B because cliche Dan can't coach. Let's see who else we got over here. Oh, we got Deluxe. Deluxe says Miller was supposed to be a rotational specialist, cleanup hitter after Wise, Armstrong, JJB, Martin, etc. And that was
Deluxe is absolutely right.
Yeah,
Deluxe is absolutely right about that.
He was only supposed to come in on third down, but because of the injuries to Dietrich Wise, Doris Armstrong, and let's not forget, Doris Armstrong was having a season of his life prior to getting hurt. Right?
Yeah, he was averaging a sack a week.
Right, or close to having an extra sack, 6 sacks a game, 5.5 something sacks a game, but he was having a heck of a season, right? So yeah, they had to do something different. Yes, they had to throw the football, they had to throw it, and so there were some things that they needed to do. That the pass rushing just wasn't there. Von Miller just can't be it. He's not an every down guy. And I totally agree with Deluxe on that. He's not an every down guy. And the plan went out the window when everybody got hurt. It's what it is. Wasn't nobody else to bring in, George. Wasn't nobody else to develop. It hasn't been
That's
developed.
True.
So I'm gonna give DC Simmons just flowers on this one. The coaching staff didn't develop anybody else, right? They didn't develop a next man up mentality. Who's next when Doris Armstrong and everyone else went down on the defensive line. So
Paul, by the way, makes a very good point in the chat as well.
Yeah, let's be honest. All those players
that's not even the one. It's the one before that. That might be right.
Paul, you're right. We can't evaluate any defensive players because of wit, but we can evaluate the fact that they was brought in here, right? They was brought in by Adam Peters. That defensive move we can look at and say, I give you that part. But them being brought in by Adam Peters or Adam Peters bringing them in, some of them did not perform. Let's talk about Josh Connolly at 29, young guy. George, I think you and Wole said it on Sunday. Why wasn't he benched for a Coleman who had been with that starting lineup before and let Josh work his way into it? That's just the pick. Nobody at 29. You're right. I wanted that pick to be Travion Henderson, right? I wanted that pick to be Travion at 29, not an offensive lineman. Now, like I said, Conley has not played terrible, right? Could be doing better. I'm gonna have to give him a C-, right? I'm gonna have to give Josh Conley thing a C- because we still see the inconsistency. But a DC Slim, I'm gonna have to give you love on this. Is the inconsistency because he got picked at 29, or is the inconsistency is because the offensive line coach and everyone else could not pick on him? You know what I'm saying? So could not develop him to be a better player. That's just out there, Is it because they couldn't develop him, or have not developed him, or it was that he could be really plugged into the system right now? Because here's my question: if Sam Cosmi was healthy, would he have been picked?
That is a very, very good question, because I think at the time, I mean, let's go back. The day that Sam Cosmi was injured, we were talking about he's probably not going to play next year, or that he shouldn't play next year because because you just gave him all that money. So I think there's something to that to that statement that we picked him in part because of the Cosmi injury and because we knew we were going to have to shuffle people around. That said, we may be very glad that we picked him in 2 or 3 years' time because we may be able to move him around if we need to, depending on what happens. And I think after a rough start, I think he's starting to show some aptitude and some ability to stick in this league long term. I can't deny either that Travion Henderson was probably the right guy at 29, and there were other guys that people were talking about that could have helped us more immediately than Connerly did. So, that's one where you can blame Adam Peters, but maybe you blame the situation. I wonder if Adam Peters would have done differently if he'd had it to do over again.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Tim, we're getting there, Tim. Sometimes I got to save the best for last, Tim, in my eyes, right? Bill, Tim says this, what's the grade for Bill Koski-Merritt? Here it is. He's a 7th-round pick, right? He's a 7th-round pick who's learning the league. I have to give him right now a C minus, or C for Bill. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Bill was starting out very well. Now he's Austin Eckler helped Bill out when Austin Eckler was around, right? Jeremy, the 3-headed monster that they're running with. Bill has some explosiveness. Bill has to learn how to hit it up between the middle, and I give it a C because Bill has a trouble with pass blocking, right? Bill has a trouble with with pass blocking. So again, those things are going to be developed a little bit later down the line. Right now, the pick for Bill's pick in the 7th round, I have to give him a C. I have to give Adam Peters and the Washington Commanders a C for how Bill has panned out so far. It's not terrible. It's not an F, right? But it is a C. He started out fast. He slowed down, and been pretty much consistent for the last couple weeks.
Well, I think this is going to be our first big disagreement because he didn't get the action I wanted him to get early. And then when Eckler got hurt, he got way more action, and he got used correctly, in my opinion, and made some major things happen. And I think the part of the reason he hasn't produced this time is because he hasn't been used correctly by the coaching staff. So, I mean, he's down to a B, but I think in terms of the B scale, he's closer to A than C. And I think if you use him as part of a committee and you keep him, as Deluxe suggested weeks ago, around anywhere from 13 to 17 touches a game, I think you're going to get your maximum effectiveness. And I think the problem is they haven't done that. They tried to make him into a workhorse back, which at this point he's not. And my other big issue is running him in between the tackles as much as you do when he's shifty, elusive, and is kind of quick. So he should have been doggone used on the edge more. So I give him a B because I think he was great in the start of the season. I mean, he was 2 times Rookie of the Week, and he was a ground play, FedEx Aaron Ground Player of the Week after, what was it? The Chargers game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And used properly, I think he would be doing a hell of a lot better than he is. So I give him a B. And I still look at him as an important piece of this running game next season going forward, even if we draft a running back. And welcome, Wole, by the way.
What's going on?
What's
going on? Where we at right now? Where we at right now?
Right now, we're talking about Bill Koski-Merritt.
All right.
What grade would you give Bill? Right.
Oh, from I think by a curve, because he's a 7th-round pick, I give him like a B. But I don't think that I do disagree with George a little bit. I think he's been utilized the way he needs to be utilized. At this point, like he's not a workhorse back. Mm-hmm. And even coach said it. Like if you listen to what Dan Quinn, and what's up, Roy? He said what's up. If you listen to what Dan Quinn said, he pretty much said like, or even the running back coaches and whatnot, like he's looking for the home run, and that's a problem. Like when you sometimes you got to, as a running back, you got to take what's given. That's why that was his struggles. He's looking for the big play. And we know he got the ability, but you got to be worked into that process where you have to eventually take what's given to you. That's a problem for a lot of elusive running backs who think they can hit the home run play. But in terms of being a 7th-round pick, that's a steal because he's got ability. So I would say a B because of that. If we were talking about a 1st-rounder, that'd be a whole different discussion, or a 2nd-round would be a whole different discussion. We're talking about a guy that you got in the 7th round. So for me to grade you your 7th rounders are supposed to be your practice squad players. For real talk. They're not supposed to be like a starter or a guy who is who's in that rotation typically. So I'm not gonna I can't hate on that. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at all 7th-rounders. What 7th-rounders other than maybe like a Terrell Davis, which you can make an argument that's like the Shanahan system, right? Alfred Morris, the Shanahan system. Typically, you're not really drafting other than like quote unquote a system. You're not really drafting a guy 7th and saying you're going to start him. You know what I mean? So I think he did a good job with that one. I'm not going, just because of his role, I think they did a good job with him.
All right, real quick, DC Slim says this: Adam doesn't cook the food, cliche Dan does. And that.
Thank you, DC Slim.
Uh-huh.
And so I agree with that. Dan cooks the food. Joe Witt cooks the food. They put them in the places that they need to put them in.
Yeah, right? But talent. That's true. Believe me, I'm a believer in I'm pro player a lot, so I know where DC Slim is coming from. But I haven't said that was a question with having Bill and giving everybody anointing him this role. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like I said, there's levels to this running back game. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, you can't anoint somebody. Like I'm gonna be real. Like there are a lot of people where when what George is referring to when he got Rookie of the Week and it's all that stuff, and some of that stuff in real talk, we've seen it. Some of that stuff is like voted by the fans, so the fans kind of drone that vote. So it's not more like players or that's a big fan vote, right? Depending on a lot of it's a big fan vote. So typically I don't really get that enamored with it because it's a fan vote. But he did earn it. Like that Chargers game, he was amazing. Like I literally believe that Chargers game was amazing. But a lot of people thought all right, look at Travion Henderson. They were like, he's better than him so far. Now that's totally that optic is switched, right? You looking at Travion saying, no, Travion like that. But there's a reason why he was drafted in the 2nd round, arguably a 1st-rounder. You know what I mean? So there's levels to that skill set. But to be in that realm where you're close enough to be talked about as a 7th-rounder, again, I'm gonna give you your flowers. That's an accomplishment because a 7th-rounder again isn't supposed to be a starter. So I don't knock him for that, but I do think that at this point in time in his career, if you utilize him the correct way and don't put all this pressure on him, he should just be in the situation where he gets eased into it rather than because everybody anointed him and said he's going to be this, he's going to be that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be this special running back. You know what I mean? Reggie Bush, as special as he was in college, he wasn't what we thought he would be in the league. It's a faster, quicker league.
Yeah, it is. It is. So we're gonna bring you back up to speed, man. We already went through Deebo Samuels. We already went through Larry Tunsil, Javon Kinlaw, Von Miller, Trey Amos, and Josh Conley. Your grades is the week 11, right?
Yeah.
What is your grades on those people?
Amos is an A. Conley for me, is a C because it's the 1st-rounder. And he's had his struggles, but he's had some wins. So he's a C. I'm not going to lie, he's a C. Because I'm going to go with you said Kinlaw.
Yep, Kinlaw, Javon.
That's I'm gonna say a C plus because I thought to me his beginning was so dominant. It was like he played at a high level in the beginning, but you're paying a lot because the money. You're paying a lot of money. You can't just be another guy at times. You just can't be another guy. We're going to judge him like we judge other players who've been had that same position, and now we got to put a money tag on it. I get we're gonna look like you're getting paid to be to wreck the defense. And you've had flashes. He's had flashes, but this team is still one of the deadbeats against stopping the run, so that hasn't changed. You know what I mean? So his job was to make this run defense stout. So I'm gonna say C plus B, but I thought he was really. He showed up. Yeah, he showed up on that one play. He showed up on that 4th down. That third or 4th down? Third down play. So I would give him a C plus B, a C plus B minus. I'm fair. C plus B minus. Who else?
We got Von Miller.
Oh, that's like I don't even know what that is. And I love Vine. I don't even know what that is. I guess C, because how many sacks he has? 3 or he has 4 sacks? I mean, he has 4 sacks.
3 or 4, I think.
He had 4 sacks. He had a sack in Madrid. He had a sack in Madrid. I want to say he has 4 sacks. That's about a C. I mean, he's on pace. What for? We're a week. He's on pace. We're what week? He's on pace to give you about 7, 8 sacks. I mean, for a vet, that's not bad. I'll say C. I'm not gonna. I'll say a C. Will Harris. Do we go against Will Harris too?
We're talking about Will Harris. We're going to talk about Will.
Incomplete. That's an incomplete to me. I'm not going to like gas up because you only played 3 games. I'm not going to hype that up to anything. You ain't played enough for me to kind of give you a grade. I'm gonna say incomplete. Then you got Debo is a B plus A.
And you have Laramie Tunsil.
Oh, he's an A. That's an A. Laramie Tunsil's an A. I don't even.
And Josh Conley.
I think he's a C. I gave him a C. That's a C to me. Conley's a C to me because he hasn't again. I mean, again, to me, your first rounder. He's had some bad games. He also had some good games, but I'm not going to grade him as high as a B. I think he's a C. Yeah, he's a C. He's a solid C. I don't think there's nothing to me but I do, again, me giving him a C doesn't mean I don't think he's going to be good though. I do think down the road he'll be. Like I said this on the show plenty of times. I think he'll be better in year 2. In year 3, you'll get the best version of Josh Conley, wherever that is. In year 3, you'll get the best version of him. And that will be where we judge him throughout. In year 3. That's going to be him. But I don't think in year 2 he'll be better. He should be better in year 2 because I think he'll get stronger. He'll have more, the weight planning and gaining weight, getting stronger. So his bottom half will kind of be strong enough to go against some of these stronger defensive ends. So once that, then we'll get to judge him on how he is in terms of physicality. Because he's a little light. He's a little light right now. He's a little light. Your thoughts on Lattimore? Oh, Timothy Lattimore. That's not like this year. That's like last year.
Lattimore was like last year, but moved into this year.
We included it because it was mainly about this year. That's why we included it.
And plus, it was an Adam Peters move.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's definitely like a D. And I like Lattimore. That's like a D. It just hasn't worked out. Y'all do. Yeah, here you go. Y'all do realize the team will be healthy as it has been from Denver forward, right? Moving forward, right? Yeah, they'll be healthy. We'll see how they look. You know what I mean? Like I'm interested to see how they look healthy. Because I guess Will Harris will be back. Some of these guys will be back. I think there'll be a fair way. There'll be a fair way to adjust to. I mean, we're just talking about the midpoint of the season, like this at this particular point in time. Like nothing about after this particular point in time how we would grade him out. His moves in the offseason. I think his moves have been questionable, right? I mean, I think it's fair to say. Like, I'm not going to be here and say they've been questionable. They haven't been like the strongest move. I mean, I think his moves haven't been. I think some of the moves he hasn't made has made it more questionable. Like the moves he didn't make or didn't bring in, like players he didn't bring in, is more the issue. Or like the positions he didn't bring, or the players he didn't draft, early. Like, you know what I mean? Because you can make the argument, like it or not. You can make the argument that Wiley has played just the same quality of play as Conley. You can make that argument. In 2024, Wiley was better at right tackle. You can make that argument.
Yeah, you can make that argument.
You can make the argument. Then why not move? Why didn't you just put Brandon Coleman at right tackle? You can make that argument. How come he's not trying right tackle? And then you could have drafted a defensive edge rusher. You could have made that argument, or a linebacker. You could have made that argument. Because I've always said this, right? If I had to compare, and this is real talk, and a left tackle for a right-handed quarterback is tough. And if you're telling me compare Conley to Brandon Coleman as a tackle, his rookie years, Coleman was better.
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely right.
And for a left tackle, and that's the prime. When you're a left tackle, that's the prime position for a right-handed quarterback.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could make the argument that Brandon Coleman is a better tackle than Connerly. So that's what I'm saying. Like you could have drafted another. You could have moved Brandon Coleman to right and drafted another position and have Wiley as your backup, your swing tackle, and you ended up starting Chris Paul anyway. So that would have worked. That could have been if you were really thinking ahead, making moves. So I think yeah, no, that's facts. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like you could have and then you could have drafted an edge rusher. You could have got some of these players. That's all I'm saying. Like you could have made these moves because I've said this on the show. Like I thought Brandon Coleman was good when they made the trade with Laramie Tunsil. I was like, all right, cool. You can move Brandon Coleman to right. I thought Brandon Coleman played for, and I was surprised. I didn't think Brandon Coleman was gonna play that well because when I went to camp last year, everybody kept telling me, "Man, Brandon Coleman looked good." That's all they kept telling me. Brandon Coleman looked good. He looked good. Then the season start. We remember the game against this dude is getting 5 sacks on everybody, 4 or 5 sacks. My man Myles Garrett getting 4 sacks on everybody this year. Brandon Coleman was on Myles Garrett last year and had a great showing. Had a great showing against the great Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what do I like Moody? Of course I love. I'm a Michigan fan. Of course I like Moody. I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
I'm for Moody, man. You know it. All I need is Donovan Edwards to be active, and I'm living the dream.
And Moody, we trust.
Wole, you pulled at a thread. You pulled at something that a thread that makes me want to ask this question. Well, how would you have felt about drafting Connerly if we hadn't traded for Tunsil? And we had Coleman at left tackle, and you wanted to leave Coleman at left tackle.
It would have been cool. I mean, I still would have been strong, right? Like, I know my problem with the draft was that I thought there was better players in the draft, period, in that position.
Okay.
That's always been my argument. But I'm just saying that in terms of tackle, and even in terms of tackle, I felt like if you drafted tackle, I would have been mad. But once you got Laramie Tunsil, I was like, all right, you just move Brandon. That was my mindset. Like, we don't need a tackle. Personally, that's what my thought process was. Because I didn't want Wiley back. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be here and say, like, I wanted Wiley back. I ain't Wiley. I'm not going to lie to you because that's revisionist history. I'm not going to say that and lie to you and say just because it's current the way he's playing. No, I didn't want Wiley. Like, I knew that. So, but they didn't. They did trade for Laramie. But they did trade for Laramie Tunsil. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't.
Well, that's the interesting thing because I mean, again, we talked about it before you were here. If it had been up to you and Glenn, we would have taken Henderson at 29.
I would have took Henderson. I would have took there's a few players I would take to 29. If it was up for me, I would have took. If it was up to me, I would have took Will Johnson. Period.
Okay, but the point is. Because that's the interesting thing.
That was the best player on the board left in terms of like impact player I saw in college. Or I would have taken from Tennessee.
When we were evaluating the first draft class a year ago, I think we all looked at Coleman as a hit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And so that does kind of make the Connerly pick look a little worse because you had Brandon Coleman, who played well. You certainly moving him would have been tough. He was in there early to start the season, and then all of a sudden, he's not even active. That was strange. And again, you can't blame Adam Peters for that. Obviously, that's the coaches, but it does sort of change the context of taking Connerly at 29, and probably for the worse.
Right.
And look, man, it's the ties. My pushback only is maybe they didn't like any of the edge rushes that was out there. I mean, look,
Pierce was gone by then, right?
Look, Pierce was around, but you had Mike Green, and Mike Green looking good in Baltimore now.
Yeah,
look, look. Just because they didn't like it, this is my point, Taj. This is my point. If they don't like it, that may be an evaluation problem. Like because them players may end up being better. Like you can't tell. Like Will Johnson's been better than like they chose Connerly over Will Johnson. Will Johnson's been better than Connerly. So that's an evaluation problem.
Truth be told, yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's an evaluation problem. You're right. They may not like it. They may not like those players, but them players can end up being good, and it's your fault. That's the thing. Like, for instance, a bunch of teams didn't like Randy Moss, and when he had to offer, Minnesota did. Their fault. Everybody else is fault.
Yeah.
That's like you cannot like him. That's fine. Hey, Roy, who you talking about you don't like? He isn't good. Don't be talking about Moody, man. Don't be talking about my man Moody. You saw what he did to Washington in Chicago with like Moody. Moody was clutch. Moody, you know what I'm saying? Moody was bad. Like, look, man, he need to get out of San Fran. You know, Debo, leave my guy alone too. Don't be smacking my dude. We out here. We out here.
To the point, he was clutch against Washington.
That got mentioned in one of the tweets in a response on Twitter. The fact that Debo slapped Moody.
Yeah, they need to chill out, man. Why is everybody not good only here? Not only everybody not good, it's some people who just aren't good. Yeah. Like y'all, Dallas, as a Rock, they all look Starks, Malachi Starks is better than yeah, bro. I'm telling you, this ain't no whatever. This ain't no. So this is the thing. The same thing that my man DC Slim said. I'm gonna keep real. If you listening to your coach, that's like that, that's your fault. It's your job as a GM to know who's a better talent. Cliff can want he could want Connerly. That's fine. He can want that. But because you do your work, you know who's better. Like, that's the thing. I don't care if there's a better player, like for instance, all right, say I need this is a prime example. Actually, I'm gonna use another sport for it. All right. The Portland Trailblazers they had a small forward, but they needed a center. So they chose Greg Oden. Greg Oden's a fine basketball player.
Yeah.
Fine. But they could have got Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Who's a better like even then, like as much as I like Greg, even then, Kevin Durant was more of a superstar talent than Greg Oden. It don't matter. Like you can want whatever, but the GM's job is to say, you know what, I may need the position, but I can get this star. Like I'm getting this star. I don't care what your coach is. Like that's their fault. Coach can say, I want Greg Oden. I don't care. You should have taken. You should have took him. Like your job, you make the buck land. The buck stops with you. You're the GM.
Right. You're the GM.
The coach is only they don't have to fall in line. If you wanted that play, you got to work around it.
But I think he looked at the system that was going to run, and so he trusts the coach. You know what I'm saying? It's a communication. They on the same page. You trust the coach.
Hey, Rory said, better. All right, better on another team is not good on this roster. Oh, you talking about my man? You still talking about my man Moody? Man, Moody gonna be good on this roster. Oh, are you talking about who? Are you talking about Moody? I gotta make sure you talking about Moody. First, who you talking about? Oh, you talking about Mike Green? Who you talking about? I gotta figure out who you talking about. You talking about Moody? Then we gonna be beefing Rory because Moody my guy.
Hey, but he hasn't kicked anything over 50 yards this year, and that scares me.
Who Moody?
He hasn't even tried one.
No, he hasn't even tried a 50-yard field goal plus.
He ain't tried one against us.
No.
Oh, okay.
He missed the 39. 30.
That one got blocked again. That one got blocked. That one got blocked again.
That one got blocked.
Blocked. You know what I'm saying? Moody was like banging them things against us, dog. He loves Northwest Stadium. That's good, man. He loves it. He was so, you know what I'm saying? He was so accurate. What a signing by this great regime of, you know what? For that signing, A+. A+. Why is
this Wolverine propaganda? Oh my God, it's called Token Elephant.
No.
Anyone. Draft wise. He's talking about the draft. Oh, now they would make. You know what? I don't know. I'll be real. Rory, that's a good point. I ain't gonna. You know what? Maybe they could have fouled up Mike Green. That's true. They could have fouled it up. I ain't gonna hold you.
I mean, to be fair, Mike Green slid down everybody's draft board because of the off-field stuff.
But I'm just saying you had, but he was late enough. Well, he could have been early. He should have been earlier. That's the point. To your point, he should have been earlier. I'm just saying, like he fell to us. You know what I'm saying? That was late. We're late enough to take that risk, though. You know what I'm saying? Like we late enough to take that risk. That's what I'm saying. Like for instance, the same point. Like I use Randy Moss. He fell off to everybody's board, right? He should have been earlier. Warren Sapp slid in the draft because of and he should have went much earlier. You're lost. That's how I look at it. You're lost. If you're gonna go all that's your loss. You as a GM is your job. I always feel like you as a GM, you shouldn't play with your food. You know what I mean? Like you can't overthink being a GM. Like Jalen Carter slid. That's a good example because everybody had Jalen Carter as a top 5, top 10, top 5 pick. Your job as a GM is to be like, nah, you talented, you too good. That's your job. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to that to a project. I kept saying, like when Conley was drafted, his claim to fame was how he blocked against Abdul Carter. That was it. It wasn't like he was a dominant left tackle. I mean, he was good. He was really good and athletic, so he measures up. But he wasn't like, he just that Abdul Carter really like that Abdul Carter game really hyped him up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, I know that wasn't why that was why he wasn't overall number one, but also it was them issues because everybody the way his 40 time, his production in Marshall, even
him and Jay Williams hanging out at Marshall. That's all the field stuff.
Yeah, it got to him.
It affected Randy.
Yeah, definitely. Because Randy should have been a top 10 pick. Easily. Mm-hmm. Easily. Should have been in the top 10 pick.
Did we get the super?
Yeah, I got Royce. Yes. I got Royce super chat.
Okay.
Always appreciate it, you know what I'm saying?
Just making sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Randy Moss, by the way, Marshall was in D1 by the time he finished up there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, right. Yeah, him and my guy.
Him and Pennington both.
I love Pennington.
I think his senior year was their first year in Division I, and he was killing it against everybody.
Oh, yeah, Chad Pennington with that dude back up there, man.
You can disagree with me. It don't matter.
You
gonna die on this Connerly thing. It's all good, my guy. You can die on this Connerly thing. It's fine. Die on this Connerly thing. I'm just saying he's gonna be good in year 3, but there's gonna be a lot of players better than him. That's all I'm saying. He's going to be solid in year 3, but there are going to be a lot of players better than. And folks are going to come out and say, we should have drafted that person. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he was that, but he was FBS. That they had just transitioned. And by the way, in those days, it wasn't FCS. It was Division I AA. They were Division 1A by the time Moss and Pennington finished up.
What we got here? He stole a championship from Montana. Did he?
That's true. Yeah. They won a 1AA title before they transitioned. But
I know because they were so dominant. Because they were so dominant for like they were dominant. Yeah. They were dominant, right? Yeah.
But that
was his last year. Was his last year? His last year was playing against the bigger schools, or was that the year after? Because I keep forgetting. Because I know
it was the last year that they were.
Roy believes that it was, but I mean, it is what it is. That's all semantics. It's okay. It's all good. But Randy, my point is that. He graded. My point is, all scouts said he should have been, and he should have been a top 10 pick. Never a bad idea to draft the tackle, protect your first asset. Ask Andrew Luck. I agree, but you got to be better. Like you got to warrant that position though. Like I feel like you got to warrant it. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like because I honestly, if you told me I believe they could have traded back and got him. To be real with you, I think they could have traded in the second round, early second round, and got him. I know George likes to trade back. You could have traded back early second round and got him. See, George, I did that. Like you want to trade back. See, you could have got more picks. That's what I think. You could have traded back and got him. I don't think you need to get him. He's a project tackle. That's what I'm saying. Like you could have traded in the second round and got him.
Well, and the point is, you've made this deal for Tunsil, which has reduced your draft capital this year. And that's remember part of the reason people are exercised about where this team is right now is that we only got 5 or 6 picks in next year's draft. Only got 2 in the top 100. And it's like, okay, you made this deal for Laramie Tunsil, which is part of that reason, but we needed him. But if you needed him, then why did you get Connerly at 29 when you had other needs that were probably even more than what the offensive line was at the time?
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I mean, look. That's easy to say. I mean, I feel like you could. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm consistent. I thought he was a reach at 29. I said this already though.
That's the point we were talking about there earlier.
I'm making consistent.
We were talking about Travion Henderson. Yeah. You mentioned Will Johnson, 2 or 3 other guys. Yeah. And I remember that night you said that. So this is a long held position for you on that. And that's
6 instead of 7. 6, 7. 7. I see you, Roy. 6, 7. I see you, Roy.
Hey, okay. I want to ask DC some of this, but type it in the chat, DC. How are they using? This is the question.
Oh, he's here. Oh, God, go ahead.
Cliff is using Tunsil wrong. How?
6,
7. Because I want to know. Do you guys think he's using Tunsil wrong? Cliff is using Tunsil wrong, or you think Tunsil is just a bookend and he's being used the way that he needs to be used because he's not giving up any sacks?
I don't think Tunsil's awesome. I don't think he's used correctly at all.
I don't think so neither. I think he's using them correctly. I
thought he's been dominant. I think he's been like all pro level. He's been awesome.
The run game could be better on that side. And
they don't run on that side enough. That's not on him. That's not on him.
That's what I'm saying. That's on Cliff.
Yeah.
That's on Cliff, which I knocked. I knocked that, and I said it on Sunday. If you got your baddest dude or your Pro Bowler on a certain side, why not run through him or let him clear the way for you, even on a Sunday? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even on days or whatever day it is, he should be the guy that you design your offense on.
Yeah. Roy, we already know. Slim hates this stuff. He does. We have a power line. We need to use the power run. Look, man,
that's what I said. I totally agree. Slim.
Yeah, he agrees. I mean, I think they should do run the ball stuff. I know. I need to run the ball more. I agree with that too. But yeah. So yeah, those are my grades. I don't feel like I mean, do I think AP? I think AP there's questions with AP. I believe that I'm not like I feel like year one was a hit for AP. On certain I believe year one was a hit. Year two, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I do think his drafts need to be his drafts should be examined. His drafts in plural need to be examined more. I do believe that though. I think his drafts need to be. I think he needs to, in my opinion, I feel like he needs to do less projects and more like and just getting like the sure thing. Well, the sure enough thing. Like stop. Just we talk about Cliff trying to be like this mad scientist in terms of being a like a play caller. I think AP needs to stop trying to be a mad scientist and just pick the best player available. Like stop trying to, see, I hit on this dude. Look at this dude. Like y'all weren't thinking of this dude. I got this dude. You know what I mean? Like right. Like for instance, like that's what I like about the Eagles. That's what I love about the Eagles GM and their draft team, their scout team. When you know a player was one of them in college and they did it on Saturdays and they do it on, he's getting them. Like he has a very good he has a pattern. Like when you look at even linebacker Dean out of like people look how late, but he was like that in college. He wasn't good. He was like that in college, and he's been productive for them as a starter with the Eagles. And they got him late. They got him like third, fourth round. People were like, so I'm just saying, like the way he drafts, it's like he drafts dudes who did it on Saturdays. Like that's and then all right, y'all don't like old boy like Jalen Carter. Okay, y'all can let him slide. I'm gonna get him. He's dominant. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they not.
That's going to go down as one of the worst ones ever. That they let him get to Philadelphia.
Boy Davis, you gonna let him slide? I'm gonna get him too.
Yeah. Right.
He knows how to. Like he don't play. I mean, he don't play with his food. Like he see it and he get it. Like there's no like his history or his behind the scenes or no. He'll help my team. He's gonna help my team. Or I didn't like his 40. He's come off an injury. No. He like that. No, he gonna help my team. Like the Quinyon Mitchell. He slipped long. I was like, why is Quinyon Mitchell slipping so far? Nah, we're gonna get him. We got him. Then they get DeJean?
Yeah, Cooper DeJean. Yeah.
DeJean.
Like one of the best corners in the Big Ten. Yeah, we're gonna get him too. You gonna slip on him? We're gonna get him too. Like he don't play with his food. He don't. Like when you rank high and you do what you did in like Saturdays mean something, and you do it against the highest competition, he's going to get you. Don't be one of those dudes who are projected to be number one and you a first round pick or top 10 pick and you slip to him. Don't be one. He is going to get you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And Big Dom holds Howie in check. Oh yeah. Probably does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Howie, when it comes to drafting, I'm not even talking about free agency. When it comes to drafting, he do it the right way, man. I think Adam Peters tries to show you that he's smarter than I'm smarter than everybody. I think that's the difference. Like he tries to show, like I'm gonna get Luke McCaffrey. I'm gonna give Ben Sinnott in the second round. I'm gonna get Ben Sinnott in the second round. Trying to show you that he's smarter than everybody.
Right.
But you can make the argument, I don't think Ben Sinnott was worth the second round pick. And I like Ben Sinnott. And I actually like Big Sinnott out of Kansas State.
But sometimes they pan out. Sometimes your picks pan out. Sometimes your picks don't pan out.
Yeah, but I'm saying like where you get your picks. Like that's the thing. I think you get to me it's like where you draft somebody. Like are you reaching? Like could you have gotten that person later on? Like could you have gotten that person in the third round instead of getting him in the second round? Like I can make that. Like could you have? They could. Like you don't waste. Like to George's point, if you're gonna get if you're gonna reach on somebody, then you might as well just trade back. And get picks and then wait for it. Because it's not, to me, Ben Simmons ain't serious enough to be like, I got to get him at that part in the second round. Like, they're better players than Ben Simmons in the draft at tight end. At tight end, they play the tight end position because Ben Simmons really is an H-back. Even it wasn't like he was a prolific, like he made big plays up the seam in Kansas State. Like, I watched him. Like, I've seen him. Like, he's a solid player. I'm just saying, like, when you look at that, look at his body of work, it ain't like he's the agile, super athletic like tight end that you literally like can run great routes or was super fast for a tight. He's not one of them dudes. He can block. Ben Simmons can block. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's what I'm saying. Like getting him at second, you could just trade it back. And if you missed him, good luck. Who cares? He's not like that type of player.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that kind of, he was never that kind of player for me. And again, I like Ben Simmons. I'm saying as a person who likes Ben Simmons. That's all I'm saying. Like, I ain't never view him as a player that, damn, we missed out on Ben Simmons in the draft. I would have never thought that. Like, when they drafted him, I was surprised. I was like, they drafted Ben Simmons in the second round. Like, what? I was like, oh, I mean, I know him. I liked him, but I don't think he's second round worthy.
No, but you're saying that after the fact, though.
I said that when they drafted him. Like, as a person who likes Ben Simmons, like, wow, they got him in the second round. That's me. That's me.
I want him to get more of a chance than what he's got.
I'm just saying, watch him at Kansas State and see his role at Kansas State. He ain't. He wasn't like a second round pick, like type of tight end. The kid from Texas, Sanders, is like way like if you did that, the kid from Texas and Sanders is like a first rounder. Then, like that's how Simmons ain't him. Like he ain't that. He wasn't that player in Kansas State. Seriously, I don't know if folks watch Benson in Kansas State. Like he was a physical runner, but he wasn't. Yeah, like he's a third, fourth rounder at that. Like he's not that tight end. Seriously. But seriously, I'm not even, and I'm saying it. And if you you get him, if you traded back and got him, you could have traded back and probably got him in the third for real. That's what I'm saying. Like the reaches bother me more than anything with Adam Peters. It's the reaches. Like, yeah, you could say you want to give him an opportunity, but like I'm gonna give an example. When folks told me, I was disappointed when I went to camp and people like Benson dropping passes and everything. I was disappointed because I like the kid. But like from training camp last year, they were talking about how he was struggling to catch the ball.
Yeah, but you see improvement in him though. In certain areas,
I mean,
you see
he's to me. I don't know. To Jordan's point, I don't know. I haven't seen enough. I can't tell you improvement because he don't be out there enough. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Like to George's point, like I can't tell you his improvement. This is what I like about him. This is what I like because it's something I trusted that he can do. Which was kind of odd to me. Like I know he can block. Like I believe he can block. I know he can block. I watched him in Kansas State. Like I literally watched him play college ball. This is why I liked him because I do because he did remind me of Chris Cooley in the point of he is an H-back. He can break tackles because he can break tackles and he can block. But we don't run the H-back type of system.
No, but we do run a two-tight end though.
Yeah, but it's not he ain't an H-back. He's an H-back. But we got to play him as a tight end.
But also because they're bringing the heavy package too. With
but you want that. But to George's point, you can't play that. That role ain't gonna be what you want it to be, like a prolific tight end. You won't. It won't. Like we're not running like when we did it with Cooley. That's a staple of the offense. And that was a staple of the offense. So he was gonna be out there getting those catches regardless. That ain't a staple of this offense. That's all I'm saying. Like you're gonna spread out, right? You're gonna put him in spread. He ain't gonna be in those packages. When Cooley was here, he was part of those packages. Ben Simmons ain't part of that type of. He ain't that type of tight end. So you spread out now, go beat me on a route. He ain't that type of tight end. At least Chris Cooley was a route runner. Like Chris Cooley can run routes. Ben Simmons ain't never been that type of dude to run routes.
No, but he's gotten open though.
By scheme, not by beating his man one-on-one. Like that's by scheme. That's like play action stuff. in the flat. Cooley can run flat. I mean, run routes. Ben Sinnott ain't ever been that type of dude. That's his issue. That's why he don't even play like that, because he's not a great route runner right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's what all I'm saying. Like, there is a different, but again, and I'm saying I'm not being harsh. I'm just saying it as an individual who like Ben Sinnott. Like, dude, DC Slim, I've watched, literally, I don't know about y'all. I literally watched this dude in college. Let me tell you, I literally watched this dude in college. So I have a very good idea of who Ben Sinnott is. That's all I'm telling you. Like, some of y'all ain't really watch him in college. I literally watched this dude in college. When they drafted him, I was like, oh, shoot, Ben Sinnott. I actually watched him. So I literally watched Ben Sinnott play often. Like, he would come on ESPN often. I watched this dude play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't making this up. Now, if you're telling me he in a system, like, I think he could be productive in a system like a Shanahan system. He definitely could be successful in a Shanahan system. Because Shanahan would utilize, like, just like he uses what's 44, number 44 for the Niners. You know, is it?
Come on,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Kyle
Juszczyk. Yeah,
very similar. He's very similar to him. That's Ben Sinnott. Very similar to him.
But his body type's not like that though.
But he's very similar to him in terms of who he is, like how he played in college. He's very similar.
Yeah, okay, because San Francisco used Juszczyk, right? If I'm pronouncing it right, used Juszczyk in the fact they short yardage packages, things of that nature. Where
he's a catcher. He's like an H back. He don't run.
Yeah, but he's an H back, but he blocks. He's what he's saying. He
blocks. Yeah, he blocks.
They shift him into a power eye, and he block. He's blocking.
You could do that with Sinnott. Sinnott he did in Kansas State. That's what he did in Kansas State. He did the same exact stuff in Kansas State. That's what I'm saying. He did that type of stuff in Kansas State. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but does that fit into the system that Cliff runs?
That's my point. I agree with you. I agree. That's why I'm saying why I draft him there. That's my point.
Yeah,
that is my point. So why you draft him in second? If he doesn't fit your scheme, really, why are you drafting him there?
But he blocks and he puts your butt. You know,
thank you. Fullback, H back. You just gotta watch it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not making this up. You just got not you, Glenn. Not you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to like DC Slimmer. You just gotta watch it. I'm just saying. Like, how many times you watch Vincent? DC, how many times you watch Vincent in college though? How many times you watch it? Like, literally, real talk. Because I won't lie about certain people this dude I watched. Like, how many times you watch this kid in college though? That's all I'm saying. Not college ball, that kid. And I ain't talking about Florida State. Yeah. I ain't talking about Miami. I ain't talking about like the bigger schools. Like, literally, like that kid. I think I even watched him play against Michigan. I was like, okay, I see. Like, I watched him play against Michigan.
Yeah, but it's scheme related to me.
That's what I'm saying. It's scheme related.
In my opinion, it's scheme related.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Glenn, I agree with you. He don't fit this scheme. That's what I'm saying. He don't fit this scheme.
Which goes to your point that you always say he won't be here next year.
Who? Cliff? Yeah, you just gotta get a guy who fits. Yeah, if you get a guy, in my opinion, if you get a guy who runs like the Shanny scheme, I think you'll get the best version of Ben Sinnott. That I will say.
But I think
agreed.
But I think the scheme that he does fit into, we don't run as much, was that 2 tight end set. We talked about that one week as well. Yeah. You got the 2 tight end set where you have a Zach Ertz and you have a Ben Sinnott.
But then you're gonna probably play. You gotta play Bates, because Bates has shown that deserve that type of second to be the second tight end. Because you can't. The issue is you can't. You're gonna need, if you're gonna run a 2 tight end set, you're gonna need the route runner and the blocker, or a guy who could do both, right? You can't have 2 dudes who just block and don't run great routes. That's the problem,
right?
Because then you got to worry about scheming people open rather than a guy just beating his man, like knowing where to be in the zone, knowing how to freak a safety or freak a linebacker. You're gonna need a guy who knows how to run the routes. Like, we may not, like Ertz may dive on every catch after, but he knows how to use your balance against you. You know what I'm saying? He can use his hips to get open. He knows how to get open against lesser, let's say, like so players. These individuals that you're referring to, like Bates, if you watch Bates, Bates ain't running thorough routes. It's more of I'm open on this play type of thing. It's a scheme thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to manipulate the player. No, I ain't stopping no cap. I'm being real. I'm the only one. Like, I didn't say I like this. I said that Cliff. I'm the only one being honest, my man, DC Slim, for between me and you. Know why? Because I'm the only one. I'm the one that acknowledges certain things. Like, I acknowledge that Ben Sinnott could be better without Cliff. I acknowledge that. Like, I acknowledge that. I'm telling you facts about a player. Period. In this system. I'm just saying, in this system, it's going to be hard for him to be successful. In another system, I think he could be successful. That is my argument. And it's a player that I actually like. Who said keep Cliff? I said Cliff
DC
gonna be
Slim,
gone.
some of us don't want to keep Cliff.
Look, I didn't say keep Cliff. I said Cliff is going to probably. This is my thing.
Right
I live in a world of, forget what I want or whatever. I live in a world of what's probably going to happen, right? This is where I live in this world. I don't do the whole, I want this person gone, whatever. Unless you like trash, like unless you're doing like some horrendous stuff like Joe Witt Jr. Then I just want you to know. But like, I said this, like I believe that Cliff's gonna be gone this year, after this year. But I think he'll not fired. I don't think he'll be fired, but I think he'll just choose another. I think he'll choose a head coaching job in the college ranks. My opinion. Yeah, give me the Texans DC or OC defensive coordinator. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, you talking about the defensive coordinator for the Texans? I mean, Texans do have good defense. Yankoff been just as good too, for real. Mm-hmm. That's another that's what I'm saying. Everybody, I feel like everybody keeps like everybody talks we want Senate to get more burn. I feel like Yankoff, and again, I think Yankoff deserves more of a look than Senate. Yeah, and again, I'm speaking of a dude like Senate. Mm-hmm. We living on the world of being fair. I think Yankoff show me more out there than Senate. But again, like I think for confidence, Senate should, like, I know what your point, George, get them out there, get them like scheme them open. Maybe that'll make them a better player. I know what you're saying, my guy.
Well, and look, honestly, when they get back from the bye, it's all about 2026. So there's no point in playing Zach Ertz. He'll have his feet up in 2026 enjoying retirement. So put Bates and Senate out there together. For instance,
my issue to that, not issue, but my like you want mm-hmm. you are. This is my thing, and see and come and rock me with this. Mm. You want Jaden to come back and play, right?
Yes.
You gotta get him up right. You gotta stay up right.
If that dude ain't getting open and he can't get him open, that's ruining Jaden though, right? Because Jaden's still gonna need open receivers. Jaden's gonna need open receivers, and they can't get open.
I understand that. I just want to see him. And if it turns out that you're right and he can't run any routes, then try Yankoff.
But
put Bates and Yankoff out there.
But there's a reason why I used to make this argument. All right, there's a reason why. Yeah, come here. There's a reason why Jayden doesn't throw the ball to certain people. Well, and why do you think? And why? And I'm asking you. Did you know that there's a reason why he doesn't throw the ball to certain people?
I know there's a reason why, but the point is, and we'll go to Luke.
Yeah.
When he finally started throwing it to Luke, look what happened. Some good things happened, did it
he
not?
He threw the ball like to Luke like once or twice. Real talk. He threw like that one pass to Luke.
That's better than zero.
I know.
You would have got it. I want to see Benson it out there so that if he fails, and then we can look at Yankoff, and if he fails, then we say, okay, we got to draft a tight end in next year's draft.
No, I think they should draft the tight end in next year's draft regardless.
And that's fine. Yeah, but I mean, the point is that I want to see these people fail so I can say there's no question, as opposed to let's just run old ass Zach Ertz out there, which doesn't do anything for anybody.
Well, I mean, I would say this though. I think you did get you have had an opportunity to see him play a lot though. I know you don't want like he's been out there. He was out there. I think you just not seeing what you wanted. I'm gonna be real. I think you're not seeing what you want to see. That's the thing.
Well, that may be. I mean, that's the thing.
That's a possibility too.
And that might be right. I mean, but I mean, again,
because he's been out there on two tight end sets.
He's got to play a majority of the snaps in the game before I'm going to sit here and say, well,
I don't know his snap count, so I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I would say
it's at least the ones that I've seen, it's always been about 18 or 19 snaps on offense.
I mean, you got to take how many snaps does Bates get?
I mean, Ertz gets almost every snap.
Yeah, so because he's out there. But again,
and Ertz can't block. So,
but that's the thing. This is the problem. This is the truth, though. If I got you out, this is the thing. I'm not going to set you up for failure. This is why I'm being real. If I can't run routes and I can't get open, that's a detriment to because I'm gonna give you an example. As a basketball player, as a coach, I can have a starting five. Maybe this kid, all right, in my starting five, you got to spread it. You got to spread it out. This kid can shoot threes or whatever. I need this kid to be able to shoot threes and make threes, whatever. This other kid can make threes, but yeah, I want to make this kid. But I'm trying to win games. I'm trying to win games, right?
Right.
This other kid can shoot threes, but this other kid can't. But I need this three ball. Like I need this three ball, right? But this other kid can't shoot threes. But you know what? This kid's probably gonna be for me for like a year, and I know he's gonna go somewhere. But for my team to win this game or to get on a run or whatever, like I need this three ball. I'm not gonna tell the kid who just shoots twos, who ain't a good 2-point shooter, to shoot a three, knowing that my team needs the three ball.
All right, then here's my problem. Then what are we not doing to develop these things with Senate in camp? Does this go back to training camp, to the last two training camps, and have we essentially wasted our time with him?
I'm gonna say that's a possibility.
The development problem here is serious if we're going.
Well, some people.
Going that route.
All right, I'm gonna give you another example, and some people just can't. Like I'm not saying he can't or he is whatever. Sometimes ain't always development with certain players. For some, it is. I agree.
Okay.
Hayward Bay is one of the fastest receivers I've ever seen in my life. And he got open a lot in Maryland. He got open in the league too. He got open in the league too when he was with the Raiders. Why couldn't he catch the ball often? Is that a developmental problem? Is that you're gonna blame that on the? Oh, is that a me problem?
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Sometimes I get it. For some people, you are who you always been. Like if you always been this dude, like if you've always been a person who hasn't been the vicious route runner or whatever, that's something you're gonna have to learn. But that may be like on you as an individual, like that may not be something you have. I'm not saying that's true or false. Like I'm not saying you can't do it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't do it. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes that ain't in you. You know what I mean? I know. I'm just saying, like, he always got open though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we are like 2 and 4. Yeah, I'm saying sometimes it's 2 to 5 years into it. I'm with you, like Rory. I'm with you. Like, I feel like to a certain if you got that ability, you got that ability. You know what I'm saying? Not every look. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is I'm DC. I know you said it like development. Bruh, sometimes you a grown man. Sometimes, bro, you just gotta take it in. Like Kobe Bryant, the basketball player, his development was Kobe Bryant, himself. That was his development. It wasn't a coach's development. Kobe Bryant was like, I'm in the gym getting work. I'm in the gym getting work. Gilbert Arenas, from what he was in Golden State as Rick, and going to watch and how he stayed in the gym to be better, that wasn't coaching. That was freaking Gilbert Arenas putting in work. Period. Like Tom Brady, like he got help, but that was Tom Brady putting in. I watched Tom Brady in Michigan. That's Tom Brady putting in work in the NFL. That's putting in work. That is individual putting work. I went NFL for you right there. There's some people that are part of like I feel like when you look at certain situations, like Jared Goff and Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay, that's developed like him. He developed Jared.
He
Goff.
Developed him, yeah. But hold up. But the thing is, Goff was willing to learn that and sit there and do the development.
A bad person. I mean, you mean
you see what I'm saying?
I don't think he was a bad person. Go ahead.
No.
Let's not go there. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't either.
Not a bad person, but anyway.
Go ahead.
You got to be willing to accept the development and willing to accept the. Again, we know Super Bowl.
Let's get example. Go ahead. Keep going.
With Sean McVay, you already know he in the Super Bowl he was telling them basically where to throw. You know what I'm saying? But Goff had to learn. And it takes time. Yeah. So when we talk about players and we talk about the Ben Stillers of the world, you talk about Josh Conley's, some things only come by having that rep, right? Only comes by having live reps. Yeah, and as they have live reps, they're going to get better. He's going to make some. And what should happen is the mistakes should get less and less, not become greater. But you can't do that if you're not on the field playing.
But you do know, like. You're a coach. You get the opportunity. You got to seize that opportunity.
You got to be ready.
that's what I'm saying. Nothing is given. Nothing is given.
Nah, you could be like Zach Ryder or Matt Cardona, always ready. You know what I'm saying? Always ready.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Nothing is given. Like just because, like if somebody ahead of you is playing better, like you can't be given an opportunity because of your draft status. If you know what I mean, like period. We've seen it, but we've seen it with this organization where, already we're like players have been rewarded that were lower in the draft status over some guys who were higher draft status. You saw. Look, we traded my man Dotson. And because of other players, they felt like other players were better or played better. So
yeah, and he had an attitude problem apparently.
Well, other players
not attitude. He was going through something from what I heard. Not attitude. He was going through something. He was going through.
But he wasn't doing what they needed in that.
Yeah, and that's
they need offensive. They need offensive wide receivers to be able to block down
the field. And there you go.
That wasn't. Jahan struggled in that area.
They weren't physical. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons. Yeah.
Yeah,
he wasn't physical. He wasn't physical enough.
It wasn't physical enough.
It wasn't physical enough. To me, starting both Jay and Ertz makes no sense. Look, man, that's a whole different discussion, bro. So when do we have a conversation about the people in charge on the field? Dang, man,
you already talked about that plenty.
Bro, man, we always talk about that, coach. DC Slim.
There are going to be staff changes. Yeah, they may not be as many as you want. Or I want, but there are going to be staff changes.
And
we're going to have a new defensive coordinator. You can take that as gospel right now.
That is gospel.
We may have a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So I'm crossing my fingers for it.
Yeah.
So
we may get you one, man. Look, we may get what you want, DC Slim.
Hey, I'm gonna ask DC Slim this question, man.
No, Dan Quinn ain't going nowhere, bro. I'm gonna try. I ain't gonna lie to you. He ain't going nowhere, bro.
He ain't going nowhere this shit.
Sorry, my guy. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog.
That's not happening.
Sorry, my guy.
I'm not sure I want it to happen either, honestly.
But I'm telling you, I'm just saying for him, I'm trying to be like, sorry, my guy, that ain't gonna happen. But you don't worry. The other two I think the other two will be likely to happen, man. You won't have to worry. You can just have one to worry about. You won't worry about the other two anymore. All right, there you go. That's all I'm saying.
My question for you is this, man.
Go ahead, bro.
You want the coaches to be gone, right? And which is get it. Everybody know the OC, DC, revamp. This team comes off this bye week and win 8 games. Just and which may not happen. Highly unlikely, not going to happen. But if this team looks better with comeback, because somebody brought in the chat earlier, they're going to be healthy when everybody comes back after the bye.
Yeah,
they should be healthy. Jaden should be back. All those be healthy. Do they still make the adjustments? I know we getting a DC court. Do we get a defensive coordinator?
Definitely, that's not even a thing. That's
not even a thing.
The defense coordinator is not happening anymore. That's done. That's
done.
He's been once you're demoted, it's a wrap.
But I also think this, DC. I don't think the market for Cliff Kingsbury is there as it was last year.
You talking about NFL market?
NFL market.
Yeah, I don't think it's NFL market.
But he wants to be NFL coach, right?
I know. I think he's going to. I think he wants to be a head coach again. I don't know anymore. Ideally, I agree with you. Ideally, I think he wants to be an NFL head coach, but I don't think I think that's over right now. So, but I still think I'm telling you, like, there's money talk. Like at the end of the day, money talk, and the contract, what those big schools, those big institutions out there in college, like Penn State, LSU, Florida is available. Them jobs, UCLA, them jobs, the money they give you damn near pro money. So you will like, and it's a thing that he's used to. Like he's helped college quarterbacks out, so he has that type of like whatever within college quarterbacks. He can recruit.
He'll be able to get. He'll be able to get guys out of the portal.
Yeah, he'll recruit
guys on offense.
Yeah, hell yeah, he'll recruit.
Whether he can coach them up and win.
That's
games
a whole different discussion.
Matter.
Yeah, but like he can recruit. He got the Jaden Daniels like touch. They can be like, I coach Jaden. He can recruit. That's all they need. All you need is the word.
He coached Baker and Patton.
Yeah, he got the word. He got the word, and he coached Caleb Williams at USC. Like he got the word. He got that in him.
I want to answer what DC Slim just said because I couldn't disagree with him more. It's not a matter of whether they win or lose or draft status or anything. The rest of this season is about getting ready for 2026. So I want all the guys that are going to be important to this team who are going to in 2026 to play and get better. Whether they're young guys or not. Most of them are young guys at this point. I want them to play and get better. If it hurts our draft status, it hurts our draft status. I'm already on team trade back because we need more picks anyway. So I don't give a rat's rear end whether we're picking 4 or 5 or whether we're picking 14 or 15.
George, I ain't gonna lie to you though.
Because wherever we're picking, we need, in my view, we need to move back. We need to get ready for 2026, and it starts next Sunday. That's what these last 6 games, was it 6 games we've got, is all about. And whether win or lose, whatever. Are your young players getting better for next year?
I will not lie. Look, George knows I'm disagreeing with him on that because I ain't trading back if I'm a top 5.
And look, like
pick.
I don't want to get into that because we're gonna have plenty of time to get into
that. Yeah. But I'm just saying. I'm saying my point.
That's my perspective.
No, I got you. I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying, like,
and that's why I wanted to answer Slim on that.
But if we lose, I'm just saying if we. I mean, I don't. Truth be told, I mean, I don't have no problem being a top 10, top 5 pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right.
Now, we know what your agenda. You want Ruben Bain or Arvo Reese?
No. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I ain't mad at it. I mean, it's too early to have this discussion. I'm not gonna lie, I'm with you, but I ain't gonna be mad if they decided to be a top 5, top 10 pick. DC Slim, I'm with you, bro. I'm all for it. Yeah. If they decide, I'm all for it. Like I'm all for it. I won't even lie to you.
The Ruben Bain Bowl is on.
Look, because I think that, like, Paul says this all the time, and I agree with him. Shout out to Paul in the chat. Like, we need a JD5 on that defense. You know what I'm saying? We need that type of playmaker on the defense. And I'm gonna be real. I'm not that confident that Adam Peters is, like, if it ain't a given, I ain't that confident in trading back him making the right pick. I'm not that confident. I am confident of him knowing that guy is one of them, like Jake, like knowing that if I got this type of talent here, I'm gonna take him. I'm confident in that.
Yeah.
I'm like top 10. I'm confident he's gonna pick the right player. Now, when he gets further down, I'm not confident. To your point, you trade back and him try. I think he's gonna get too cute with it. That's my problem. I ain't gonna lie. If it's Howie, and I'm gonna keep using Howie as an example. George, I'm with you because I know Howie's gonna try get that player is available. He's gonna take the best player regardless. I don't trust Adam to say, you know, it would be like his type of play, what that is, but him trying to show that he's smarter than everybody else. That's my concern. But yeah, hey, look, back to the regulars. Yeah, I would be mad at the top 10 pick, top 5. Shoot, I mean, if you're going to disappoint me the right way.
Right.
That's how I look at it. If you're going to disappoint me this year, disappoint me the right way. Let me feel good about 2026. Let me feel good about 2026. Let me be like, oh yeah, y'all done messed up. It's almost like the year the Spurs got Tim Duncan. Like David Robinson missed out the whole year, and it was like, oh, y'all done messed up. Y'all done messed up. Y'all didn't let me get the first pick overall. Now I can team Tim Duncan. I mean David Robinson with Tim Duncan. Man, watch them. You want to mess up like that.
Rigged too.
Look,
that mess was rigged too.
Look, watch them. You're gonna mess up like that. Like mess up right. Give me the Tim Duncan of defense. Shoot, that's how I look at it, man. If you're gonna do it right. If you're gonna fail the fan base and give us a disappointing season, do us right. Let us be like, you know what? This is a bad year. We on the come up now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So the question is, do you trust Dan moving forward? And not Dan, excuse me. Do you trust Adam Peters, AP moving forward? Because you got a draft coming up, which is the big draft. You got free agency, which is coming up. They have a lot of money. Do you trust AP in this free agency with a boatload of money, so having to sign the players that he needs to sign to make this team better? Is he going to pull it? Can he pull it off and use the draft picks that they have currently effectively?
I mean, I think that depending with George's point, depending on where they land, I mean, I do think they should trade. Depending on where they land in the draft, they should consider trading back because they do have limited picks, depending on where they're at and who's available. I think it's all depending on who's available. That's how I look at it. You got a guy you feel like that's a can't miss star, then you should not trade back. But in that case, do I trust him? I think my just off hope and optimist and trying to be optimistic, I'm gonna say yes. But my track, I think we're low. And I'll say this much: I think we're low enough where I can trust his pick. Like the where we're going, the draft pick, where we're gonna be at. I'm low enough to trust him picking that particular player. I think in the later rounds, I don't know. Free agency, I think he's gonna learn his lesson. To be honest with you, I do think that he learned a lesson of not. You don't. Sometimes you got to experience something to understand what you got to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Like relying on people like Noah Brown. And folks like that, you're going to understand, like, I can't do that. Like, I can't take that chance. You know what I mean? Like, he's got, again, we talked about, he had some hits, like Tunsil, Debo. I think it's interesting to see what he's going to do with Debo. I mean, I'm on the side now. Like, we should resign Debo.
Yeah, I'm on that train.
Yeah, we should resign Debo if we can. I know a lot of people think Debo's gone. I'm on that side. Especially if you change offensive coordinators and bring in a certain type of offensive coordinator, I think you can make that move. I think he knows now he got to go hard and tackle free agency in terms of finding like, you know, we talk about like George's, you know, talks about tight ends. You got some tight ends out there. I think Kyle Pitts will be out there available in terms of athletic tight end. Though he's underachieved because he's so talented and so gifted, but he has the ability a lot of us want, right? A tight end who can move, who ain't going to slide when he get the ball. He's going to try to do something with it. So yeah, there's guys out there.
By the way, to Paul's point about Jared Verse was picked at 19 in that draft.
Yeah, I know.
So you can find superstars that low.
Yeah, you can.
In round one.
No. Verse
it does
good.
happen.
No, it can. I'm just saying, like, you can't get him. Yeah, you definitely. But they didn't trade back to get him.
No, they didn't trade back.
No, that's true. They didn't trade back.
That's what I'm saying. No. Like, but you got it. You can't. But you can't.
And they're getting Atlanta's pick in this year's draft.
Yeah. But to your point, George. But to your point, George. Yeah, you can. Like, I'm not saying depending on the cast of like how strong that cast is in terms of like that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still find can't miss dudes that late. But again, depending on, I'm just saying when that guy approaches you, then you got to take him. You can't just say I want to trade back. Just to trade back, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing.
No,
like,
I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that. It depends on who's available.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, country boy,
yeah.
Any scenario that involves Washington sweeping Philadelphia is not realistic and should not be even considered.
And that's
winning out.
Oh, that's my man. That's Rory. That's Rory.
Well, I know it's Rory, and he's talking nonsense there. They're not sweeping Philadelphia. Let's just get that straight right now.
Then one of these players. Oh my God, no. I know you should. Hey, these are some you. I heard this from Niners fans. You should rock. You should listen to Niner fans about Adam. Just saying, FYI. Just saying, bro. Just saying. And Adam is in charge, bro. Real talk. Adam is in charge.
Yeah.
I don't know where you. Yeah, Adam is in charge. DC Slim. Adam is in charge. Like real talk. Adam is really in charge.
The box.
Like you mad at Dan, bro? If you mad at Dan. Be mad at Adam too. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're mad at Dan, you could be mad at Adam too, because he's in charge. Adam is in charge, my guy. Like in charge. He has the ear of the owner of everything. He really only has one big free agency miss. Lattimore, that was a trade. Lattimore's a trade though, wasn't free agency. Second would be Mike Davis, but he was making very little money. One free agency miss. I mean, Will Harris is incomplete to me, so I'm not calling it a miss or a hit.
Yeah, it's incomplete. I agree with that.
Free agency miss one. I mean, Noah Brown's a miss to me. I'm sorry, I can't give him any flowers on that one. And only because you prioritize it. Only because you prioritize. I know what you're saying, Deluxe, but only because you prioritize him, like made him like you put his role as a third wide receiver, like that type of thing. Like I would have signed somebody better and had him slotted there. Like you put him at third wide receiver, didn't bring anybody better, like a better vet. That's what I would say. But I know what you're saying that you didn't really pay anything for him. I'm not comparing Noah Brown to like a Diami or whoever or as a kid. I'm just talking about like you prioritize that player over anybody else who's an injury prone player. That was my thing. No, Matt Gay was a horrible free agent signing.
Terrible.
There are others.
Awful.
I'm trying to think about who else was bad. I mean, Mike Davis was atrocious. You mentioned Mike Davis. He was atrocious. No, I agree. I know the money you're talking about. I'm talking about how you relied on him. Like the reliance on him was my issue. Not the money, the reliance on him. What else? Who else is a bad free agent? I mean, Von Miller ain't horrible, but it ain't great. But you ain't really. That's not really a That's not really a
And that's
risk.
not all his fault either.
Yeah,
That's not
Von
all
Miller ain't
AP's
bad.
fault.
Yeah. Von ain't really. I don't blame Von because I like Von. It ain't horrible. Man, those players. I'm not gonna reach over. Like those are the players. I can't think of anybody else. Yeah, those are. They don't play Noah Fant. I mean, not Noah Fant. George Fant. Why don't play George Fant?
Yeah, especially when they brought him up and brought
Yeah,
him
why
from the
don't play
practice
him? Yeah,
squad,
why don't
signed
play
in the
him at
practice
all?
squad, and then eventually brought him up. That's a
Yeah.
good question.
But yeah, those are the players. Yeah, I can't. This team on is bad for this team. What's up? Vaughn is bad for this team. Yeah, he gone.
Yeah, he's.
They let him go. They released him.
Oh, I didn't know that he's
I
gone.
don't know. I ain't know he gone. Okay. I wasn't sure. Vaughn bad for this thing. I guess. Yeah.
I think it was Rory that mentioned it earlier that Drake Jackson might be coming back soon. I'm actually kind of interested in what he's going to do.
I mean, again, like I'm saying, like Adam brings his guys here, man. I will say that the guys he's taking flyers on, which I'm about to give him his flowers. Like you say Traylon Burks looks good, so that's fair.
Yep.
That was a good hit. I do like that approach though with Adam. I'm not gonna lie. Like these first rounders that he's taking a flyer on, I like that approach. Like guys who had so much, ability and like in terms of the draft and what people kind of thought they'd be better, and then he's taking a flyer on a cheap. I like that. I do like that approach. But he a bargain dude though. He's a very bargain based dude though. Like Adam really is a bargain based dude. But I do like that approach though. 'Cause I do think there's ability that you can probably help coach up. I do like that thought process. Yeah, he's on his roster. Yeah, Fant's on his roster, Roy. I thought so too. I thought he was too. How many good free agents has AP signed? 8 out of 60, 106. Stop. Now you hating. Don't hate. Coach, don't hate. You don't bring that Eagles hate. Bring that natural cool hate. Don't bring that Eagles hate. Watch Adam shock the team. The new owner is serious about winning. I don't think so. He just happy. He just trying to get his back to RFK, bro.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Participation trophy.
You ain't lying. Jaden, Terry, Harris, Jackson, Payne, in Denver. Oh yeah. Hunter for the Texas. Oh, what's happening? Oh, they winning?
Oh, they just sacked Allen in there in third and long.
Hunter's pretty good
game.
though. Oh yeah, Texans about to win.
Texans are close to winning. They haven't got it won yet though.
Okay. Fant got released this week. Did he get released this week? I gotta check. I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
I know they just signed somebody back to the practice squad.
Probably did. I ain't get no alert
that we had cut that we liked.
I ain't get the alert, but yeah, man. All that to say, yeah. But back to George. Did you answer Glenn a question about AP? Like how much faith and trust you have in him for this next off season?
His record.
My bad.
With San Francisco, his record with San Francisco means that I still do trust him.
Okay.
And his record in San Francisco says that he's actually pretty good in the middle of the in the middle rounds of the draft, which is going to be important. So yeah, I still trust him because I mean he's had some hits, and if anything this year. He deviated from what I think his natural plan was by the fact that we went out of nowhere, got to the last 4 of the NFL, and we thought we were further ahead than what we were and going for a championship. So I think I'm not blaming him totally for that because if he'd have stuck with what his plan was and turned the roster over and said we're going to continue to get younger and not really go for it, I think he'd have gotten pilloried by everybody around here for that. Even though now that would have probably been the right thing to do. So I still trust AP. I would give any GM 4 years before I start thinking about getting a new one.
What about you, Glenn? About your own question. What about you?
I don't trust him. Well, I trust him a little in certain areas. I trust him, right? Because you had money this year and you didn't do what you needed to do. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, you didn't bring in you didn't bring in a good backup wide receiver. You brought in guys like, what's my man that played in Dallas?
Fowler?
Huh?
Who plays for Dallas now?
No, he used to play for Dallas that they brought in, old receiver.
Noah Brown?
Nah, not the other one. Nah.
Dallas. Oh yeah, Gallup.
You brought in Gallup, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you brought in
yeah.
Gallup.
You
Yeah,
brought in old guys. You didn't bring in guys that could really
they
push
did bring in
Terry.
Gallup. I forgot about Gallup.
Guys that you
Yeah.
can push Terry, or guys that will actually take in the position. So when I'm looking at the Philly roster, I'm looking at the Philly roster like, because this was the mentality of this team: next man up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what your philosophy is, you need to bring guys in who could actually be the next man up, and you don't lose anything. You don't lose. You don't have a big drop off. This team, when people got hurt, we saw how big the drop off was, right? And so that the drop off was big. So he has to be able to make the drop off not as big, and these guys will have to come. Because I look at down at Tampa Bay when their receivers went down, the next guy up was just as good as the guys that were starting. You know what I'm saying?
You said Tampa Bay?
Down at Tampa.
Yeah, that's true. They are.
So they down there rolling. So I'm saying, okay, that's what Adam needs to do in that area. He's not the coach, but he needs to bring talented players in, because when you bring free agents in, you bringing in veterans. You ain't bringing in young guys to DC some point. No, Adam's not the coach, but when you bring veterans in, you bring veterans in who know how to play the game, who know how to work this game, and who has a desire to win, who change culture, right, and help change culture in the locker room. So to me, I give Adam. I trust him a little bit, but I think he needs some help around there. With Dan Quinn, if he's still going to be here, and with the coordinator, whoever the coordinator is going to be, because when that happens, it's going to be a quick turnover, because it has to do it before the draft.
I mean, this is my thing with DC Slim. I know you mentioned these players. Do you like Luke McCaffrey? Do you like Noah Brown? And those, I'm not knocking, I'm not hating, but do you like those receivers? Do you like Michael Gallup? Do you thought he was really good? Do you like could you name it, like, it's coaches? Who else do you like? Do you like what receivers are we talking about, Glenn? I'm not even talking about what else receivers we talking about.
You're talking about Chris Moore.
Do you like Chris Moore? Do you like I'm naming all these receivers, and because you're saying that Adam doesn't deserve any type of flack on this. Do you like
now you got Jacoby Jones?
You like Jacoby Jones had like one good catch. You like Jacoby Jones? These are all dudes that come off the street. Obviously, they weren't great on other teams. That's why they over here.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be a Dan Quinn Cliff problem. Obviously, they weren't successful on other teams.
Right. And
Gallup hasn't had a job. Gallup hasn't had a job since he retired. Nobody else wanted, but has anybody picked up Gallup? He's so good. Has anybody else picked up Gallup since?
Right. And Ja'Cory Brooks that Rory just said too.
He's in free agency, right? I mean, he's on practice squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't keep saying like receivers and project. Like, these dudes ain't good nowhere else. No. I mean, Luca's on the squad, but you know what I mean. The guys I just mentioned that Glen was referring to, they ain't good nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be just that it's cool to say Dan in development. They ain't developed nowhere else. Nobody picked them up. I'm just talking about the receivers. I ain't like we can make the argument about the other players, but the receivers were trash. The dudes they brought in were trash.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like what they like very mid. That's not development. That's mid. Chris Moore ain't starting on no squad but Washington.
And to be fair,
he wasn't supposed to start.
They were mid, and Diami and OZ weren't much better.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying
they've done okay.
Yeah,
I'm not. They've been healthy.
Yeah,
but they're also mid too.
Yeah, but to DC's point, right? The coaching staff has to make the mid player better, so he's no longer mid. Right,
they've been mid everywhere, though. They've been mid everywhere. They've been mid everywhere, though.
But then that's on Adam Peters for not bringing.
That's
mid
my
players,
point. That's my point. That's my point. That is my point for DC. Like I get if they young dudes and you're expecting it, but they mid everywhere else. Right. I'm not going to ask it. Like I'm not again. I'm use football. I'm use a football player. I'm not going to use anybody else. I'm not going to ask. Here's a good example. I'm not going to ask Mike Davis to be a good corner. To be a shutdown corner. He ain't good. Like, I ain't going to develop him. I can't develop not somebody who ain't that good to be a shutdown corner. What are we doing? Sometimes you got to have it or you don't. Either you have it or you don't. Like, you could, like, if you got it in you, then you can develop it. That's true. That's a fact. Like Jared Goff, I'll give Jared Goff an example. That's why I'm using an example. Jared Goff had it in him. Development was bad when Jeff Fisher was there. You brought in Sean McVay. Development was good. You got a better quarterback out of it. Then that continued to his time in Detroit when he had Ben Johnson. That's development. I agree with development. But some dudes are who they are. That's who you are. If you go from place to place to place and you always been that person, then you that person. For real. Like what's his face? Who's the Raiders? Pete Carroll. Like development helped out like with Geno. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, that's talent in you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Development happened. Development help Geno. So that can help out. That can help you out. Like he went to then when Carroll left Seattle, he still continued to be a better quarterback. Shoot, we can use Baker Mayfield an example. When Baker went to Baker played well, but we all saw it was in Baker. We saw his rookie year in Cleveland, and then when it kind of went left, he went to get right. He went with Sean McVay for that nice stretch, got him back on course. Got to Tampa. That's development. But when you ain't good, you ain't good, my guy. I'm sorry. Some people aren't good. Like you can't change that.
Right.
Like you can keep saying Dan. Like for certain, I'll get you certain players. Don't get it twisted. But like, the wide receivers are who they are. Like don't die on that hill, my guy. Don't die on the wide receiver hill.
But I even get you with Dan when we talk about time management because I think Dan Quinn time management sucks, right? The time management in Washington, time management this year has not been great. I give you on that. So there's some things that he has to work on. There's some things that Adam Peters has to work on because how much leeway does Dan have on telling Adam who he wants here? That too. The communication got to be better. Their communication got to be better for the schemes stuff that they're running. So again, it is all partially on Dan Quinn, but it's also on Adam Peters because guess what? We said it last week and all agreed. The buck stops with the leader, and Adam Peters is the guy. Yeah, agreed. So people were asking for Crowder to be brought back, but he's another slot. Need that outside depth to stretch the field. Yeah, that too. I mean, I want Crowder back too. I think that would be a good sign for Jaden. For this team, not really. Like for Jaden, I thought it would be good for Jaden. If when they were in contention to have like a trusted receiver in the slot who can get open. Right. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yep. They didn't, so yeah. No. Yeah. Gear sale. Hey, Noah Brown wears yoga fans with the Steve Pleasant, Ruffin Tussin, Wave Fade, tragic. Chill out. Hey, yo, chill out. Oh, man. Oh my God. With you, oh man. Yeah, we're about to wrap this show up, y'all, man. Appreciate Glen and George, man, for holding it down, man. You guys are dope. Guess what? There's no pregame, postgame show. That's a dope. We got a vacation. So we got a vacation. About that. We got a vacation. So we're good. Yeah. We don't gotta worry about all of that, man. So yeah, look, man, enjoy it. Look, do what I do like George's way of thinking in terms of this is like a way to look at what we the rest of the season, kind of like mapping out and seeing the young guys progress. I do want to see that though. Like to George's point, I do want to see like the young guys progress and kind of look at that route of things. I think that is a positive way of looking at it. So if you ain't excited about anything, be excited about that. Yo, and enjoy your Thanksgiving, man. We won't be back too, man. Enjoy Thanksgiving, man. Like, know what? Yeah, Turkey Day. Enjoy. Get grub. I'm gonna grub like crazy. I'm gonna grub. Like my diet is done for Thanksgiving. Like I don't be worried about dieting. I'm in it, man. I'm in it to win it. It's the Olympics for me. I'm working out hard this week, man, so I can eat. Yo, Joe. Hey, that's what. Look, what? I'm going in this week. Like I'm working out thoroughly. I want so many. Like I'm trying to like open up room. Like you know what I'm saying. Open up room to grow. I'm trying to kill it. I'm wrestling with my guys and everything, but I'm wrestling. And Glenn, I'm with Glenn. I am with you, Glenn. Look, man. I'm trying to do 2 days before everything. I'm doing trying to do 2 days on weekends. I am trying to kill it to a point where I feel so good to say, you know what? Give me the whole thing. Embrace me. Embrace me. Hey, DC's gonna get one more, man. Why y'all trust Dan so much? Thank you. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, DC. Why do you hate Dan so much? No, you know what? Because if any good player, any good subordinate, has to trust a leader, whether you like him or not, you have to trust them. Yeah. So as a fan of this organization, if I trust Adam Peters, if I trust Josh Harris, and that's who they put in charge, then I'm gonna have to trust Dan. If they had put Mike Tomlin in charge, I would trust Mike Tomlin. Mm-hmm. But right now, until they fire Dan Quinn or get rid of him, he's a leader of this organization. So I'm gonna have to trust that because I like this team. I'm gonna have to trust that he's gonna do the right thing by this team. And if he doesn't, then the next coach he'll be gone. And the next coach will.
Oh, he's not a good coach. I mean, dude, he went to Super Bowl. I mean, bad coach don't go to Super Bowl.
But in DC, I don't know if you came. I know you coming to the channel late, but none of us was a fan of Dan Quinn coming to this organization.
Yeah, initially, no.
Initially, we all wanted somebody else.
Yeah, so. Man. Happy. Yeah, thanks, man.
But you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, enjoy it, man.
It's feast week for college basketball. Yeah, if you're a hoop head.
Hey,
this is a great week coming up.
Enjoy your families and remember, man, be thankful for something, right? Yeah, everybody got something to be thankful for, right?
I love that message, man. Be thankful. Yeah, I agree with that. Be thankful, man. Yes, don't hate, man. Congratulate. Yeah. All right, DC Stan, I don't want you, man. I want you to stop. Don't hate. Congratulate my guy. You know
hey, man, y'all have a good one, man.
All right, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. You know what? Y'all been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Team, the Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. Yeti deuces. We are out. Happy Turkey Day.